Hi, and welcome back to David Pattinson's Accused Friends. There's been a lot of talk in the news about, when the government decides to lift the unlawful house arrest, they'll do it under the circumstances that you can only go out if you're wearing a face mask and, when you've had a vaccination. And as a country and as a people, we need to wholeheartedly reject compulsory face masks and compulsory vaccinations, and I want to use this video to explain why. So we've heard a lot in the news over the last several years, especially with women and abortion protests, along the lines of this phrase, her body, her choice. And if women don't want to get an abortion, they don't have to because it's her body, so it's her choice. So how do you say her body, her choice, and then say, oh, well, by the way, you've got to have a compulsory vaccination? Surely, if it's her body, her choice, the vaccinations are voluntary, and why can that ruling not be extended to men? Why can't it be men's body, men's choice, and men can resist vaccinations as well? The thing is with the law, we're a free people. We allow the government to have certain powers, and we allow the government to make laws with freely elected representatives. And there's certain laws that the government cannot make related to speech, related to unlawful detention, related to unlawful searches and seizures. But things like banning assault, things like banning trespass, things like banning theft, things like banning murder, we allow as a society. But there's one thing the government can't do, and that's to compel behaviour, to force people to do things they don't want to do. We abolished slavery as many, many decades ago, and we always talk about how proud we are of that. So why are we going to reinstate slavery now to force free citizens to take actions that they might not want to take? What about if vaccinations have side effects that kill people? What if vaccinations have side effects that, incur a lower standard of living? And the same thing with face masks. What about if people don't want to wear face masks? How can the government force you to do something, compel you to do something, coerce you into doing something, which is totally against the law and, totally violates the notion of a free people? If you're a free citizen, the government doesn't need to tell you what you can do. You can do anything you want unless there's a law specifically stating that you can't. And so, Nigel Farage was out there talking a couple of days ago, and, I like Nigel, but he was totally wrong because he was saying, it's inevitable that face masks will be, have to be worn on public transport and all this sort of stuff. And it's not inevitable. We as the people need to resist this stuff. Now, if you want to go out there and wear a face mask, you be my guest. If you want to go and call up the government and say, I want a vaccination, that's fine with me. I'm talking about the people that don't want this stuff. And, we're not going to be forced into actions that free citizens don't want to have. What if your private doctor says, David, I don't recommend this vaccination? Well, surely a free citizen has the choice to opt out. And same with face masks. If someone's wearing a face mask and is protected from the virus, what does it matter what you're doing? So this is my argument against the lockdown. If people want to voluntarily self-isolate in their homes, what's it matter if someone's out walking along the streets in a different town? If you're self-isolating, it doesn't matter what other people are doing. But we punish healthy people to protect unhealthy people, and then it's going to lead to all these other ongoing violations of our civil liberties, and it needs to stop. We need to focus on prosecuting the government for unlawful detention, and we're not going to be accepting any further violations of our rights by being compelled to take action with vaccinations and with face masks, and we need to start resisting this stuff very, very proactively starting now.